Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of Genesis Silver program for the training. In this training program, in this clip, we're going to be covering route slips and medical history. We're going to start off here with medical history. As you can see, I am in the patient's family file, which you can access from pretty much anywhere in the enterprise system. It's the manila folder with the two little people here. So I've got my chart pulled up. This little red cross right here, it's currently white because I don't have any medical history or alerts in my file at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and log in here and add. So right here is how you can add a new medical alert. This one will let you search. This one will let you inactivate the alert. This one will show alert history. This one will delete. And then this one is view active and inactive alerts, so you can see everything. And this little guy here, you can mark it just as they've never smoked tobacco. If they do smoke, there's quite a few options in here. You can come in here and update if they're a smoker or not. So we're gonna go in here. As you look for medical alerts, pretty much everything should already be listed in here. There are a few things maybe that are not listed in here, and if that is the case, let your office manager know and she can reach out to someone to have them added. So we're going to add that I have high blood pressure. So I just went in, you side click here, you can search the field, hit OK, and then hit OK again, and it's going to list that I have high blood pressure. Now also you can see here that there is a tab for medications. If the patient is on any medications, you can click that and actually select their medication that they're on. Now if you don't see the name that you or your patient has written down, go ahead and Google and see if maybe it is under the generic name in this system. Again, if it is not, please let your office manager know so we can get that added. Same thing, you can go ahead and look for the patient's medication. You can add it. If you wanted to make any notes in here that the patient's only on it temporarily or anything that you feel is pertinent, you can add it here. And then you just hit OK, and it's going to add it down here. And then there is one more option for allergies. Same type of adding. You just click the side arrows, search for the allergy that they have, add it, hit OK. It's going to list it underneath the allergies. Now then you can come here and also inactivate. If anything, it'll give you a drop-down tab. Either entered in error or that it was resolved, and then you can just hit OK and it's going to take that out. So that's why this view is super important, because it actually will show you past history of medications that they were on or anything that we've updated. So click on and click off, simple, just click it on if you want to see the inactivated ones. It's going to show the status right here. If you re-click, it takes those inactive ones off again. Now we do require, as Genesis policy, that every 2 years we actually have a paper form updated, just our medical history form for the patient updated in the patient's file. So we would have you hand that to them, fill it out, and then it is scanned into their document center under the med history update form. And that should be done every 2 years. If you're curious if your patient needs it or not, you can go ahead and reference that here. If the form we have on file is current and not older than 2 years, we don't need them to fill that out again. Now for route slips is actually going to be rather new to some of our offices. Not all of our offices have been using them, but we feel like they are important and we would like to start using them. There's a few ways to check for or print route slips. So the first is you can click on the appointment, hit File, and then print route slip right here, and then print. Now, if you aren't wanting to sit, if you have a super busy day and you don't want to sit there and print, there is an option to do a bulk print. you're going to go to reports, list, daily appointment list, and then you can then select what information you want. We're going to select patient route slips here, make sure it has today's date on it. You could do provider if you want to just do providers or operatories and then hit OK, and it's going to create all of your route slips. Now let's just take a peek and look at what an actual route slip looks like. So this is the route slips. This is what they look like. They have oodles of information on them. For right now, as the Silver program launches, we want to focus on just a few things. When you print your route slips to prep them for the day, we're going to have you highlight the patient's name and address. We also want to make sure and verify the patient's phone number. One thing that's a little bit frustrating within Enterprise is if there only is a mobile number listed, it doesn't show up on the route slip. So you have to check and either handwrite that in or verbally verify that with the patient when they walk in. So we want to highlight name and address and phone number. And you can also be checking for email addresses. We're going to be using email more and more and more, so it's kind of nice to make sure that they have one on file, and you can ask them if they do not want to share one as well, that's fine. And then we also want you to highlight insurance information. So you can see down here it lists primary and secondary, so if your patient has both primary and secondary, highlight both of those, and then your route slip is ready for the day. Also, if your back staff wants to use them more intricately, you can highlight the services and they can actually put the narrative here somewhere on the route slip for crowns or things that need narratives. And then it's just already here, ready to go for when they're making their clinical notes. Now the front staff is going to be using this with the patient to have the patient physically take a look at their information and verify that it's all correct.